Karina baby, for the 20th, we have the magic soup pot. It was so good to see you today. Today's Thursday. I get to see you every Thursday. We stayed on the phone for like 50 minutes together, which was pretty awesome. You know, and then I let you go, and I talked to the nice lady by myself, and it was just so good to get to see you and get to, you know what you want for your gifts, and get to have some more information about how you're doing. I love you and I miss you. The magic soup pot. Many years ago, a little girl named Flora lived in a town with her mother. They were poor, and Flora was always hungry. One day, there was nothing to eat except a dry crust of bread. "Here, take this crust and make it last," said Flora's mother. Flora took the crust and went to play. While she was playing, an old woman came along. "I haven't eaten for days," said the old woman. "Can you give me some food?" Well, Flora felt sorry for the old woman and gave her the crust of bread. In return, the old woman gave Flora a cooking pot. "Take this little pot," she said. "It's magic. It won't work for me, but it will for you. Whenever you're hungry, just say, 'Cook, little pot, cook,' and it will fill up with soup. And when you have eaten enough, just say, 'Stop, little pot, stop,' and it will stop." Flora thanked the old woman and ran to her mamma. She plucked the pot on the table and said the magic words, "Cook, little pot, cook." And it did. It bubbled and it brimmed with creamy hot soup. "Delicious," said Flora's mamma as she tasted a spoonful. When they both had a second helping, Flora said the magic words, "Stop, little pot, stop," and it obeyed her at once. There was a morning when Flora was with her friends in the park. By lunchtime, Flora's mamma was hungry, so she put the pot on the table and said, "Little pot, cook." Nothing happened. "I must have got that wrong," said Flora's mamma. So she tried again. "Cook, little pot, cook," she said. This time the little pot filled up with soup, and Flora's mamma ate all she could. But the pot went on filling. "Stop, little pot, stop," said Flora's mamma. But the magic pot did no such thing. Soup bubbled right over the table and onto the floor. "Please stop, little pot," said Flora's mamma. Soon there was a stream of hot soup pouring out the door and into the street. It was splashing past the houses and down to the park where Flora was playing. As soon as she saw what was happening, she shouted in her loudest voice, "Stop, little pot, stop!" And the little pot heard her all the way back at the house and stopped. Then all the people from the streets came out and filled their bowls with soup and ate till they were all full. Baby, food is such a luxury, right? Food is something that humans need. We need food and we need water. No matter what, we need water and we need something to eat, right? Because if we don't have water, we're not going to survive very long. And if we don't have something to eat, we're not going to survive very long. You can survive a lot longer without food than you can without water. So when people back in the day were hungry and their bellies were burning at night and there was nothing to eat in the house, their mamas would give them water, right? So you drink some water and then you try to have that settle your stomach and you go to bed because you can drink as much water as you can, right? So if there's just nothing to eat in the house, that's what you do. You get a big bottle of water and you just drink as much water as you can. It fills up your belly and it makes you feel like you have something in your tummy. And then you wake up, you go to the bathroom, and you just feel hungry again, right? And after like a couple of days doing that, you don't really feel hungry anymore. It's not a good solution, but it's something that they used to do for the kids like when they were small because they didn't want their kids to feel like they were hungry. So food was such a big thing back in the day because there wasn't enough food. Even now, so many people have food shortages and they just don't have the foods they either want to eat, so they're eating things that they don't want to eat, either because they don't have the time or the resources or another tool in their toolbox to be able to eat something that is healthy and not as expensive. Food is getting more and more expensive. It's going to become more and more of a problem for a lot of people. And as inflation goes up, it's just going to become more and more of an issue. So having something that's like a little pot that's cooking soup is such a brilliant idea in a story, because they wanted to make sure that their children were fed and the people in the town were fed. There was a lot of, fasting stages throughout our entire history, and famines throughout our entire history. We're Jewish, and the Jewish culture has a lot of fasting periods because we have a lot of fasting holidays. That's excluded for people who are older, people who are sick, women with certain things, whether they just had a baby or they're feeding a baby, or like just women going through certain stages of their life, right? So it's, there's not fasting for everybody. It is fasting for some people. But there's a lot of fasting throughout histories and things like that. It's just, food is such an essential part of who we are, right? The foods that we like, the foods that we don't like, what we want to eat, what we don't want to avoid and not eat. I hope that you're eating the best food. I was so happy to hear that you like beef and broccoli, because it's a really, really good meal. It's healthy. The broccoli's healthy for your tummy. The beef is healthy for your growing strong, and you're having rice with that. I know that you are, and I know that it's white rice, and that's a good thing with the Italian dressing. So, your papa made that dish a long time ago when we were struggling with food ourselves, and it was always a good dish. And so I'm glad that you enjoy it. All right, let's go into Kristoff was still doing his best to keep Anna's birthday surprise safe from the little snowmen. But every time he turned around, more of them were piling into the courtyard. They raced around and nearly knocked Kristoff over. They were even climbing into the shape of a pyramid in their attempts to reach Anna's cake. "No!" Kristoff shouted. "Stay away from that cake!" Seeing Olaf nearby and desperate for the idea, Kristoff grabbed the snowman's head off of his body. Thanks in advance, buddy," Kristoff whispered. "Uh-oh," Olaf said. Kristoff rounded up his arm and pulled Olaf's head like a bowling ball and tumbled across the courtyard and knocked them down. The pyramid was a thud. "Yes," Kristoff pumped his fist. "Yes." Now I'm Olaf's headless body jumped into the air, and one of the little twig arms gave Kristoff a fist bump. "Nice," Olaf's head shouted from across the courtyard. The cake was saved again. Kristoff was careful to put Olaf's head back onto his body. "Thanks," Olaf said. Then Kristoff turned to see several little snowmen knocking down the birthday banner, and the letters fluttered to the ground. "I can fix it," Olaf explained. Kristoff didn't have a choice. He had to protect the cake, so he left Olaf with the banner letters. Kristoff turned to face several little snowmen who were charging at the cake. "No!" Kristoff scolded. The little snowmen stopped charging, but they still ignored Kristoff. They piled into the table and started pelting him with snowballs. Kristoff grabbed an empty punch bowl and placed it upside down on his head as a helmet. "Now stand back," Kristoff said triumphantly. But the snowman refused. The little guys ran straight at Kristoff and knocked him to the ground. "Oof," Kristoff grunted. Behind him, Olaf proudly announced that the birthday banner was ready, all fixed, he called out. Kristoff stared at the newly rearranged letters of the banner and read it aloud. "Dry banana hippie hat," he said, confused. Olaf grinned. "See? We just need to clean up a little and everything will be okay." He hugged one of the little snowmen. "Aren't you cute?" "You are not cute," Kristoff yelled. Elsa's nose was stuffy, her eyes were watering, and she couldn't stop sneezing, but she was too excited to end the treasure hunt now. She led Anna to the bottom of Arendelle's clock tower. When she looked up to the top, she felt exhausted. But after talking Oh, after taking a deep breath, she waved her little sister over. Come on, she told Anna. Now we climb. All right, baby. I love you and I miss you so much. Let's take a look at this book again so you can see the cooking pot. I don't know if I showed you enough. See the older woman giving the younger girl the cooking pot? And see her feeding the entire town. Karina, I love you. I love you so much and I miss you. I miss you so much. Let's do the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Never give up. Never give up. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Karina, baby, you never give up in this life. This life is hard and it will knock you down straight to the bottom, just like the spider, right? The spider never gave up. He kept moving forward, kept going up no matter what. You are going to have some of the hardest days that you could ever possibly imagine, especially in the beginning, when it's like your first hard experience, your first hard days. You're going to think that's the worst thing in the world that could ever possibly happen to you, right? And that's your rock bottom. You're never going to have another rock bottom that's this hard ever again in your life. That's not true. You're going to pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep walking forward, right? And then you're going to be doing great in life because you're going to give it 6 months. And you're going to be like, wow, I'm doing really great. And then all of a sudden something's going to happen, right? And your world's going to shatter again. It's going to be gone. Everything's going to be gone in an instant. And what are you going to do? You're going to sit, reflect, and be like, wow, this is my life. This is my body. This is my home. This is who I am. Be proud of who you are no matter what. Always know there's time for change. You can always pick yourself up. That's why a new day is a new beginning every single day. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your day. Be proud of your moments. And keep moving forward. I love you and I miss you. And I hope that you're having a great day tonight. And I hope that you're doing well. I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you again.